What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Lumsden Motorsports Garage. I'm Wade Lumsden, and we are trying to get ready for the 3rd and 4th of July race. I gotta apologize to you guys. It took me a while to get the Octane Fest video out. As I was telling you in past videos, I had a test that following Tuesday after the races. So I didn't do any video editing after that, but then shortly thereafter, a couple days actually, I ended up getting really sick, and I was sick for about a week. So I was lucky to get out what I got out when I got it out, basically, and I did no work on the car. That being sick, I was in bed, and yeah. It was pretty rough, but hey, back on health, so that's good. But that did eat away our time to be doing race car stuff. So today is Monday, and we go racing Sunday, Monday of this following week. So we only got a handful of days. And we know the car has a lot of stuff to do. So and for those of you that were curious, I did pass my test. So I did pass my exam. Rock on for that. The effort was worth it. So yeah, back on to race car stuff here. Don't got a whole lot of time. This last weekend I did go out to my dad's house and spent a little time with Tiss as well. Working on his hobby stock, street stock, whatever. He should be pretty close to rocking and rolling. He's got a couple small deals to do, and if he throws another belt, I swear to goodness, I'm gonna throw a fit. I'm gonna throw a huge fit. But this weekend I'll show you what I was talking about when we get there, but Tiss should be ready to rock and roll and be able to go out and just worry about racing instead of trying to worry about finishing his car. So that was good. Now on to the modified. We know a lot of things are wrong here. Front nose is shoved over, body's coming apart, decking's coming apart, and back quarter panel, I mean it's ripped up in so many spots. The holes are gutted out up to, I think, this one. So that's the last half of it is all ripped apart. This poor car has taken a beating. The T-bar is all messed up and all bent up. This back panel's ripping apart. The roof is starting to come apart. Yeah, it's seen better days, but this is going to be the plan. Don't have enough time to put a body on it, obviously, before the July 3rd and 4th race. So this is going to be more about trying to fix some suspension stuff. You can see this tire's fairly straight, and this tire is turning like crazy. So I got toe issues. We're going to take a better look at some more of the suspension stuff and continue to look for any cracked out issues from wrecking the front end of this car. Just to make sure that we haven't missed anything. And yeah, I'm gonna do a little bit of engine work maybe, and by that I mean basically changing oil and making sure the carburetor stuff's good to go. I do believe I'll be swapping the carburetor out hopefully for this race. So yeah, visually the car is gonna be still extremely beat up, but we're gonna try to dive in under the hood and doing some suspension stuff, try to get that stuff squared away, and then the plan as of now is to, after the July 4th race, I don't think I have another race for another like 6 or 7 weeks on the calendar that I have to go to. There's a bunch of stuff I'd love to go to, but there's nothing that I have to go to, right? So I'm hoping that by then I will have figured out how to get some sheet metal so I can make a body for this thing, because she is beat up. It's kind of the way it goes. So with that being said, thanks for hanging in there with me while I was out sick, and yeah, I guess it's time to get to work. Okay, so yeah, some basic stuff that we're going to be doing today. I think one of the first things I want to do, yeah, I want to get my toe a little bit closer to where it should be. I currently have my steering wheel, recentered it over here at the wheel where it's supposed to be, and as you can see, my tires turned a little bit to the right on this side, and then this one's headed way out towards right field. So that's going to be something that I do. Basically, I'm just going to adjust the tie rods that I have on here. I'll be pushing this one farther out to get this lined up square where it should be, and then I will try sucking this one in as much as I possibly can, and then set the toe after that point. But that's fairly easy and basic stuff to do. But as you can see, I'm still running with the bent lower control arm, bent ball joint. Yeah, all the bent not broken stuff is still on this car. Yeah, it is what it is at this point. And then the other thing, like I said, we're going to do is probably a carburetor swap. So this has been a borrowed carburetor from the guy that I bought the crate engine from, but I do happen to have another carburetor. That's like a 750 or something. That's pretty big. The carburetor that I have was actually a 650, and that 650 carburetor, 4-barrel Holley, was originally done up to run in a Eco sprint car that I used to run a while ago. They had there was a rule that if you did some specific things, you were allowed to run a 4-barrel versus a 2-barrel, but that was, yeah, that was then. And so that's been sitting up in my shelf back here for a little while, and I debated getting rid of it for a long time. I'm glad I didn't, because it's going to go on top of this 604 crate motor. So it's a competition carburation, done up 650 CFM Holley carburetor. I do need to change the power valves because it has been sitting, like I said, it's been sitting on the shelf for 4 or 5 years now, at least. So we're gonna change out the power valves in it real quick, and then get it shoved on here so that I can return that carburetor that I've been, you know, borrowing for a while. So nothing real major going on there. And then again, with all of the wonderful bent everything in here, we'll be keeping an eye out for any other bad things. Looks like I lost my turn down on my exhaust. I did have a turn down on here, and it looks like the weld broke, and that got taken out, so that's a thing, I guess. Yeah, lots of beat to fit, paint to match stuff going on. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm not going to be able to set my toe but I'm gonna at least get my tie rods fairly close to where they should be. And then I think the next thing I want to do is the plumbing of the carburetor, and get the carburetor swapped. And because yeah, if you guys remember correctly, this carburetor wasn't an exact swap over, so I had to do some crazy fitting stuff here. Like there's a random T in the back, like to get it all to work, so that I could use it. So I'd like to get it back to where it's supposed to be. So I think those are going to be the first two things that I do. Yeah, so let's move forward with that. Okie dokie, guys. I don't know when the camera shut off there during the time lapse, but yeah, the front end is, I mean, it's still messed up. We're still pointed out pretty far on this side, so with my steering wheel centered, we're pointing to the right, so not what we want to see. This side is sucked in all the way. This side is kind of set to where it's straight, so it's not really what I want. So I left everything loose there. I'm gonna readjust the front end stuff. I very well might change lower control arm and ball joint over there on the driver's side. Finally, I did get parts delivered, so if I got time for that, I will do that. Hopefully that's gonna happen. And then I started on my carburetor swap over here. You can see it's just kind of sitting in place, it's not bolted down. And I kind of mocked up the plumbing to refix the plumbing and get all that figured out. So that's just sitting there. Carburetor sitting covered. I'll actually cover that some more before I take off out of here. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. As far as carburetor goes, I do need to look at the jets and the jetting in it, because like I said, it was on a sprint car, And I think I had it, if I remember correctly, I had when I was running a 2-barrel, I had it turned 90 degrees. Running the 4-barrel, so it would link up with the hook up with the linkage that I needed it to, with the pedal being on the right-hand side of the engine. I think I was running it backwards. So my higher, I run 2 different size jets, a bigger jet on the left side than I do the right side. And that's for when you're going through the corner. A little bit of that fuel kind of shoves itself over towards the passenger side, over towards the right side. So you put a little bit larger jet on the left-hand side than you do on the right-hand side. Anyways, at least that's what I'm doing with my carburetor program with Bob Oliver through Competition Carburation. So I think I'm gonna have to open this up and swap the jets around. I have to go through this and do the power valves and all that stuff anyway, so I figured I would just set it there to close the hole, and we would come back and actually do up the carburetor and get it set on there after I do everything I feel I need to do. And then up here in the bag, that's the carburetor I borrowed. I went ahead and cleaned it out, and then put Marvel's in it. Marvel's mystery oil, great for winterizing your carburetor or just putting it up on the shelf for a couple days or whatever. Drain all that methanol out so it doesn't turn into a science experiment, and then put some Marvel's in there and run it through it, and then I take WD-40 and blast the top real quick, and then I wrap it all up with rags and I put it in a bag, and yeah, so that'll go back to Mickey. Thank you for letting me borrow that for as long as I did. I'm happy to get this thing put on here. So lots of work to do still. Still got an oil change and a whole bunch of other stuff to do engine wise here. But that front end's got me a little bit worried, and like I said, we're gonna beat to fit, paint to match here for the body. One more race, so I gotta figure out how to get this side all picked up. I've already been tweaking on it a little bit, and it's kind of pulled up, but I'm gonna have to get it pulled up and braced to where it's up and out of the way and out of the ground. So anyways, that's going to be my stopping point for tonight. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Any questions, comments, concerns down below. Lumsden Motorsports Facebook page. Again, I apologize with putting up all the other videos late and stuff, and it's just what happens when you get sick, and and I had to do the test thing, right? So past that, thank God. So yeah, life hit, and but we're gonna get back to rocking and rolling here, and hopefully we have a good July 3rd and 4th race at Rattlesnake Raceway there in Fallon, Nevada. So thanks for watching, guys. We will catch you next time. Peace.